So welcome everybody to Shakespeare. The loos are over there, the wine's over there. Turn your mobile phones off. Make sure that you've got plenty of refreshments and enjoy Measure for Measure. Thank you.
Oh, great introduction.
Aeschylus,
My lord.
in the nature of our people and the terms for common justice, you're as practised as any that we remember. This is our commission, from which we would not have you warp. Bid Angelo come before us. We have given him all the organs of our power. What think you?
If any in Vienna be of worth to undergo such ample grace and honour, it is Lord Angelo.
Your Grace, I come to know your pleasure.
Angelo, heaven doth with us as we with torches do, not light them for themselves. In our absence, be ourselves. Old Aeschylus is thy secondary.
Now, good my lord, let there be some more test of my metal before such noble and great figure be stamped upon it.
No more evasion. Your scope is as mine own, to enforce or qualify the law as your soul seems good. Fare ye well.
The heavens give safety to your purposes.
Lead forth and bring you back in happiness. I desire, sir, to have free speech with you, and it concerns me to look into the bottom of my place. A power I have, but of what strength and nature I am not yet instructed.
'Tis so with me. Let us withdraw together, and we may soon our satisfaction have, touching that point.
I'll wait upon your honour.
I forgot my first line. Oh, was it? Oh. There's not a soldier of us all that in the Thanksgiving before meat doth pray for the petition that prays for peace.
I never heard any soldier dislike it.
I believe thee, for I think thou never wast where grace was said.
Oh! No, a dozen times at least.
Oh, what? In meter?
In any proportion or in any language.
I think, or in any religion.
Aye, why not? Grace is grace, despite of all controversy. As for example, thou thyself art a wicked villain, despite of all grace. Behold, behold, where Madam Mitigation comes. I tell you, I have purchased as many diseases under her roof as come to be. How now? Which of your hips has the most profound sciatica?
Well, well. There's one yonder, arrested and carried to prison. It's worth 5,000 euro.
Who's that, I pray thee?
Marry, sir. That's Claudio.
Huh?
Signor
Claudio to prison? 'Tis not so.
Oh.
I know 'tis so. I saw him arrested. Saw him carried away. And, which is more, within these 3 days, his head to be chopped off.
But after all this fooling, I would not have it so. Art thou sure?
I am sure of it. I saw him arrested. And it is for getting Madame Giulietta with child.
Oh, believe me, this may be. He promised to meet me some 2 hours since, and, well, he was ever precise in promise-keeping. Away! Let's go and learn the truth of it.
What with the war, the gallows and poverty, I am custom shrunk. And now, what's the news with you?
Oh, yonder man is carried to prison.
But what's he done?
A woman.
What's his offence?
Oh, groping for trouts in a peculiar river.
Well, what is there? A maid with child by him?
No, but there's a woman with maid by him. Oh, mistress, you have not heard the new proclamation, have you?
What proclamation, man?
All the houses of resort in the suburbs of Vienna are to be plucked down.
All the houses, all our houses of resort in the suburbs be pulled down?
To the ground, mistress.
Well, there's a change indeed in the Commonwealth.
Well,
What's to become of me?
fear you not, mistress. Good counsellors lack no clients. Though you change your place, you need not change your trade. Courage, I'll be your tapster still. There will be pity taken on you, you who have worn your eyes almost out in the service.
What's to do here, Thomas Tapster? Let's away.
Oh, look, here comes Signor Claudio, led by the provost to prison. And there's Madame Juliet.
Fellow, why dost thou show me thus to the world? Bear me to prison where I am committed.
I do it not out of evil disposition, but for Lord Angelo by special charge.
Why, how now, Claudio? Whence comes this restraint?
From liberty, good Lucio, too much liberty. A sea-feet is the father of much fast. By the immoderate scope turns to restraint.
Well, if could speak so wisely under an arrest, I would send for certain of my creditors. And yet, to say the truth, I had as lief have the foppery of freedom as the morality of imprisonment. What's thy offence, Claudio?
Ah, what but to speak of would offend again?
What, is it murder?
No.
Lechery?
Call it so.
Come, sir, you must away.
One word, good friend. Lucio, a word with you.
100, friend, if they'll do you any good. Is lechery so looked after?
Well, thus it stands with me. Upon true contract, I got possession of Julietta's bed. She is fast my wife, save that we do the denunciation lack of outward order. This we came not to, but for the propagation of a dower remaining in the coffer of her friends. From which we thought it meet to hide our love till time had made it for us. Though it chances the stealth of our most mutual entertainment of character is, Rita and Juliet.
With child, perhaps.
Even so, and the new deputy for the Duke arises all penalties, and that have like unscoured armour hung by the wall so long that 19 zodiacs have gone by and none of them been worn. And for a name now puts the drowsy and neglected act freshly upon me. And 'tis surely for a name.
Aye, I warrant it is. And thy head stands so tickle on thy shoulders that a milkmaid, if she be in love, may sigh it off. Send after the Duke and appeal to him.
I have done so, but he is not to be found. I prithee, Lucio, do me this kind service. Today my sister should the cloister enter, and there receive her approbation. Acquaint her with the danger of my state, and bid herself stay the strict deputy. For in her there is a prone and a speechless dialect such as move men. Besides, she hath a prosperous art when she play with reason and discourse. She can well persuade.
Well, I pray she may. I would be sorry should thy life be thus foolishly lost at a game of tic-tac. I'll to her.
Oh, thank you, good friend Lucio.
No, Holy Father, throw away that thought. Believe not that the dribbling dart of love can pierce my bosom. We have delivered to Lord Angelo absolute power here in Vienna. He supposes me travel to Poland.
But why, my lord?
We have strict laws. The needful bits and curbs to headstrong steeds, which for the last 14 years we have let slip. In time, without use, the rod becomes more mocked than feared.
It rested in your grace to unloose this tied-up justice when you pleased. But it in you more dreadful would have seemed than in Lord Angelo.
I do fear too dreadful. 'Twould be my tyranny to mock and gall them for what I bid them do. Lord Angelo may, in my name, strike home. To behold his sway, I will, as 'twere a brother of your order, visit both prince and people, and we shall see if power changes purpose.
And have you nuns no further privileges?
Are not these large enough?
Yes, truly, I speak not as desiring more, but rather wishing a more strict restraint upon the sisterhood of St. Clair.
Ho! Peace be in this place.
Who's that which calls?
It is a man's voice. Gentle Isabella, turn you the key and know his business of him. You may, I may not. You are yet unsworn. You must not speak with men, but in the presence of the prioress when you have vowed. I pray you, answer him.
Peace and prosperity. Who is it that calls?
Hail, virgin, if you be. And as those cheek roses proclaim, you are no less. Can you bring me to Isabella, a novice of this place, and the fair sister to her unhappy brother Claudio?
Why her unhappy brother Claudio? For you must know I am that Isabella.
Oh, gentle and fair, your brother kindly greets you. Not to be weary with you. He's in prison.
Woe me! For what?
For that which, if myself might be his judge, he should receive his punishment in thanks. He hath got his friend with child.
Sir, make me not your story.
It is true, and I would not. Though 'tis my familiar sin with maidens to jest, tongue far from heart. I hold you sainted, and to be talked with in sincerity, as with a saint.
You do blaspheme the good in mocking me.
Do not believe it. 'Tis thus. Your brother and his lover have embraced. As at blossoming time, when from the bare fallow the seedness brings to teeming foison, even so her womb expresseth his full tilth and husbandry.
Someone with child by him? My cousin Juliet?
Is she your cousin?
Adoptedly so, as schoolmates change their name by vein through apt affection.
She it is.
Well, let him marry her.
This is the point. The Duke is strangely gone from hence, and in his absence governs Lord Angelo, a man whose blood is very snow broth, one who doesn't feel the wanton motions of the sense, but doth rebate and blunt his natural edge with study and fast. He hath picked out an act under whose heavy sense your brother's life falls into forfeit, and to make him an example, follows close the rigour of the statute. All hope is gone, unless you have the grace to soften Angelo.
Alas, what poor ability is in me to do him good?
Assay the power you have.
My power? Alas, I doubt I
Our
can any-
doubts are traitors, and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. Go to Lord Angelo. When maidens sue, men give like gods, but when they weep and kneel, all petitions are freely theirs.
I will see what I can do.
But speedily.
I will about it straight. No longer staying, but to give the mother notice of my affair. I humbly thank you. Commend me to my brother.
I take my leave of you.
Good sir, adieu.
We must not make a scarecrow of the law, setting up to fear the birds, till custom make their perch, and not their terror.
Aye, but let us be keen, and cut a little, than fall and bruise to death. Alas, this poor gentleman, whom I would save, had a most noble father. In the working of your own affections, had time cohered with place, or place with wishing, could you not sometime in your life have erred in this point, for which now you censure him, and pulled the law upon you?
'Tis one thing to slip, Aeschylus, 'tis another to fall. I'll not deny the jury, passing on the prisoner's life, may, in the sworn 12, have a thief or two guilty than he who they try. What's open made to justice, that justice seizes. You may not so extenuate his offence, for I have had such faults, but rather tell me when I that censure him do so offend. Let my own judgment pattern out my death. So he must die.
Be it as your wisdom will.
Provost,
Here, your honour.
see that Claudio be executed by 9 tomorrow. Bring him his confessor. Let him be prepared.
Well, heaven forgive him, and forgive us all. Some rise by sin, and some by virtue fall, and some condemned for a fault alone.
How now, sir? What is your name, and what is the matter?
If it please your honour, I am the poor Duke's constable, and my name is Elbow, and I do lean upon justice, sir, and bring before you here 2 notorious benefactors.
Benefactors? Are they not malefactors?
Well, if it please your honour, I know not what they are, but precise villains they are, and void of all profanation that good Christians ought to have.
He's a wise officer. This bodes well. What are you, sir?
He, sir, a tapster, a bawd, one who serves a bad woman whose house was plucked down, and now professes a hothouse, which I think is a very ill house too.
How dost thou know that, constable?
I said my wife, sir, whom I detest before heaven, and your honour.
How, thy wife?
Sir, who I thank heaven is an honest woman.
Dost thou detest her, therefore?
Sir, I would detest myself also, as well as she, that if this be a bawd's house, it is the pity of her life, for it is a very naughty house.
How dost thou know that, Constable?
Married by my wife, sir, who, if she had been cardinally given, may have been accused of fornication, adultery, and all kinds of uncleanliness there.
By the woman's means?
Aye, sir, by Mistress Overdone's means. That as she spit in his face, so she defied him.
Please, Your Honour, sir, this is not so.
Prove it before these varlets here. Thou honourable man, prove it.
Do you hear how he misplaces?
Sir, she came in, great with child, longing for stewed prunes. We had but two in the house, in a fruit dish, a dish of some threepence, Your Honours. You have seen such dishes. They're not china dishes, but very good dishes.
Go to. No matter for the dish, sir.
No, indeed, sir. But having but two in the dish, as I say, and Master Froth here, this very gentleman, as I said, having eaten the rest, and, as I say, paying for them very honestly. For Master Froth, I could not give you threepence again.
No, indeed.
Come, you are a tedious fool. To the purpose. What was done to Elbow's wife that he hath cause to complain of? Come me to what was done to her.
Oh, we shall come to it, by Your Honour's leave. But I beseech Your Honour, look upon Master Froth here. A man of 80 pounds a year, whose father died at Hallowmas. What was it not Hallowmas, Master Froth?
Oh, Helen Eve.
This will last a night. I'll leave you to finding the hearing of the cause, and hope you find good cause to whip them all.
I think no less. Good morrow to your lordship. Now, sir, come on. What was done to Elbow's wife? Once more.
Once, sir? Nothing was done to her once.
I beseech you, sir, ask him what this man did to my wife.
I beseech Your Honour, ask me.
Well, sir, what did this gentleman to her?
Your Honour, I beseech you, look upon Master Froth here. Look upon his honour, Master Froth. 'Tis for a good purpose. Doth Your Honour mark his face?
Aye, sir, very well.
Doth Your Honour see any harm in his face?
Why, no.
I be supposed upon a book. His face is the worst thing about him. Now, if his face be the worst thing about him, how could Master Froth do the constable's wife any harm?
He's in the right. Constable, what say you to it?
First, like this, the house is a respected house. Next, this is a respected fellow. And his mistress is a respected woman.
By Your Honour's leave, his wife is a more respected person than any of us all.
Oh, varlet, thou liest, thou wicked varlet. The time is yet to come that she was ever respected. Oh, thou wicked Hannibal, prove this, or I have mine action of battery against thee.
If he gave you a box of the ear, you might have your action of slander too.
Now, I thank your good worship for it. What is it your worship's pleasure I should do with this wicked caitiff?
Truly, officer, because he hath some offences in him, that thou wouldst discover if thou couldst. Let him continue in his courses, till thou knowest what they are.
I thank your good worship for it. Thou seest, thou wicked varlet, now what's come upon thee? Thou art to continue, thou wicked varlet, thou art to continue.
What's your name, friend? Where were you born, friend?
Here, in Vienna, sir.
And are you a 80 pounds a year?
Yes, please, your honour.
So, and what trade are you of, sir?
Tapster, sir. A poor widow's tapster.
Your mistress' name?
Mistress Overdone.
Hath she had more than one husband?
9, sir. Overdone be the last.
Master Froth, come hither to me. Master Froth, I would not have you acquainted with tapsters. Get you gone, and let me hear no more of you.
Oh, I thank your worship.
So, what trade are you of? No, what's your name, Master Tapster?
Pompey.
What else?
Bum, sir.
Troth. And your bum is the greatest thing about you. Pompey the Great. You are partly a bawd, Pompey, howsoever you colour it in being a tapster. Are you not?
Truly, sir, I'm a poor fellow who would live.
By being a bawd, is it a lawful trade, Pompey?
If the law would allow it, sir.
The law will not allow it, Pompey.
Well, does your honour mean to geld and splay all the youth of the city?
No, Pompey.
Well, in my poor opinion, then, they will to it. If you give out an order to hang all those that offend this way for 10 years, you'll be pleased to give a commission for more heads.
Thank you, good Pompey. And in requital of your prophecy, I advise you, let me not find you before me again upon any complaint whatsoever, or I shall have you whipped.
I thank your honour for your wise counsel. Whip me? Ha! The valiant heart will never be whipped out of his trade.
Master Constable, Master Elbow, how long have you been in this place of constable?
7 years and a half, sir.
Alas, they do you great wrong to put you so oft upon it. Are there not sufficient in your ward to serve it?
Faith, sir, few of any wit in such matters. But as they are chosen, they are glad to choose me.
Look you, bring me in the names of some 6 or 7, the most sufficient of your parish.
To your worship's house, sir?
To my house. Fare you well.
Is it thy will that Claudio shall die tomorrow?
Why dost thou ask again?
lest I be too rash. I have often seen, after execution, that judgment have repented all his doom.
Go to, let that be mine. Do your office, or give up your place.
I crave your honour's pardon. What should be done with Juliet?
Dispose of her to some fitter place.
The sister of the man condemned desires access to you.
Hath he a sister?
Ay, my good lord, very virtuous maid, and shortly of a sisterhood, if not already.
Well, let her be admitted. See you the fornicatress be removed. Let her have needful but not lavish means.
God bless your honour.
You're welcome. What is your will?
I am a woeful suitor to your honour.
What is your suit?
There is a vice that most I do abhor, for which I would not plead, but that I must, for which I must not plead. Oh, I am at war. Twixt will and will not.
Well, the matter.
I have a brother who's condemned to die. I do beseech your honour, let it be his fault, and not my brother's.
Condemn the fault and not the actor of it.
Oh, just, but severe law. I had a brother then. Heaven keep your honour.
Give it not her so. To him again, entreat him, kneel down before him, hang upon his gown. You could not with more tame a tongue desire it. To him, I say.
Must he needs die?
Maiden, no remedy.
I do think that you might pardon him, and neither heaven nor man grieve at the mercy.
I will not do it.
But can you, if you would?
Look, what I will not, that I cannot do.
But might you do it if your heart was touched with that remorse as mine is to him?
He is sentenced. 'Tis too late.
You are too cold.
Too late? Will believe this. No ceremony that to great ones long, not the king's crown or the judge's robe, become them with half a good a grace as mercy does. If he had been as you, and you as he, you would have slipped like him. But he, like you, would not have been so stern.
Pray you, be gone.
I would to heaven I had your potency, and you were Isabella. Would it then be thus? No!
Aye, touch him, there's the vein.
Your brother is a forfeit of the law, and you but waste your words.
Alas, alas, why all the souls that were forfeit once. How would you be if he, who is the top of judgment, should but judge you as you are? Oh, think on that, and mercy would then breathe into your lips like man new made.
It is the law, not I, that condemns your brother. Were he my kinsman, my brother, or my son, it would be thus with him. He must die tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, that's sudden! Spare him! Spare him! He is not prepared for death. Good, good, my lord, bethink you. Who is it that hath died for this offence? Many have committed it.
Aye, well said.
The law hath not been dead, though it hath slept.
And you must be the first to give this sentence. Oh, it is excellent to have a giant's strength. It is tyrannous to use it like a giant.
That's well said.
Could great men thunder as Jove himself does? Jove would ne'er be quite but man, proud man, dressed in a little brief authority, most ignorant of what he's most assured, plays such fantastic tricks before high heaven as to make the angels weep.
To him, wench. He will relent. He's coming. I perceive it.
We cannot weigh ourselves with our brothers. Great men may jest with saints, 'tis wit in them, but in the less foul profanation.
Art advised of that. More on it.
Why do you put these sayings upon me?
Because authority, though it errs like others, hath yet a kind of medicine in itself. Go to your bosom, knock there, and ask your heart what it doth know that's like my brother's fault. If it confesses a natural guiltiness such as his, let it not sound a thought upon your tongue against my brother's life.
She speaks, and it is such sense that my sense breathes with it. Fare you well.
Good my lord, turn back.
I will bethink me. Come again tomorrow.
Hark, how I'll bribe you. Good my lord, turn back.
How? Bribe me?
Aye, with such gifts that heaven shall share with you, not with gold or stones whose rates are either richer or poorer as fancy values them, but with true prayer that will be up at heaven and enter ere sunrise.
Well, come again tomorrow.
Go to, 'tis well. Away.
Heaven keep your honour. At what hour shall I attend your lordship tomorrow?
Any time before noon.
Save your honour.
From thee, even from thy virtue, is this her fault or mine? The tempter or the tempted? Who sins most? Can it be that modesty may more betray woman's lightness? Having waste ground enough, shall we desire to raise the sanctuary and pitch our evils there? Oh, fie, fie. What art thou, Angelo? Dost thou desire her foully for those things that make her good? What? Do I love her? That I wish to hear her speak again? And feast upon her eyes? What is't I dream on? Ah, cunning enemy, that to catch a saint with saints doth bait thy hook. Most dangerous is that temptation that goads us on to sin in loving virtue. Never could the strumpet, with all her double vigour, art, and nature, once stir my temper. But this virtuous maid subdues me quite. Ever till now, when men were fond, I smiled and wondered how.
Bound by my charity, I've come to visit those in prison.
I would do more than that if more were needful. Look, here comes one with child, and he that got it, sentenced. Young man more worthy to do another such offence than to die for this.
When must he die?
Tomorrow. I have provided for you. You stay a while and you shall be conducted.
Repent you, fair one, for the sin that you carry?
I do, and bear the shame most patiently.
Love you the man that wronged you?
Yes, as I love the woman that wronged him.
Then your most offenseful act was mutually committed?
Mutually.
Then was your offence of heavier kind than his?
I do confess it, and repent me, Father, but take the shame with joy.
There rest. Your partner, as I hear, must die tomorrow. Grace go with you. Benedicite.
Must die tomorrow. O injurious love, thou respites me a life. Use very comfort, still a dying horror.
When I would pray and think, I think and pray to several subjects. Heaven hath my empty words, whilst my invention anchors on Isabel. Heaven in my mouth, as if I did but only chew his name, whilst in my heart the strong and swelling evil of my conception. My gravity wherein, let no man hear me, I take pride, could I trade for an idle plume which beats the air for vain. Place, form, how oft dost thou wrench awe from fools and tie wiser souls to thy false seeming. How now, who's there?
One, Isabel, a sister, desires access to you.
Teach her the way. Why does my blood thus muster to my heart, making an able for itself, and dispossessing all my other parts of necessary fitness? How now, fair maid?
I am come to know your pleasure.
Your brother cannot live.
Even so. Heaven keep your honour.
But yet he may live a while, and it may be as long as you or I, yet he must die.
Under your sentence?
Yea.
When, I beseech you, that in his reprieve, longer or shorter, he may be so fitted that his soul sicken not.
Fie these filthy vices. 'Tis all as easy falsely to take away a life true made, as to make a false one.
'Tis set down so in heaven, but not on earth.
Say you so, then I shall pose you quickly. Which had you rather, that the most just law now took your brother's life, or to redeem him by yielding up thy body to such sweet uncleanness as she that he hath stained?
Sir, I would rather give up my body than my soul.
I'll not warrant that, for I can speak against the things which I say. Say that you, his sister, finding yourself desired of such a person that could fetch your brother from the manacles of the law, and that there were no earthly means to saving him, but that you must lay down the treasures of your body, what would you do?
I please you to do it. I'll take it as a peril to my soul. It's not a sin at all, but charity.
Please you to do it at the peril of your soul.
Then I do beg his life. If it be sin, heaven let me bear it.
Nay, your sense pursues not mine. Prompt.
Say that you, his sister,
The prompt.
nay but hear me,
Nay, but hear me.
your sense pursues not mine.
Your sense pursues not mine.
Say that you, his sister,
Say that you, his sister, finding yourself desired of such a person as could fetch your brother from the manacles of the law, and that there were no earthly means to saving him, but that you must lay down the treasures of your body, what would you do?
As much for my poor brother as myself, I would not yield up my body to shame.
Then your brother must die.
And 'twere the cheaper way. Better a brother died once than a sister, by redeeming him, should die forever.
Were you not then as cruel as the sentence that you have slandered so?
Ignominy in ransom and free pardon of 2 houses. Lawful mercy is nothing kin to foul redemption.
You seemed of late to make a tyrant of the law, and the slighting of your brother a merriment than a vice.
It oft falls, my lord, to have what we would have. We speak not what we mean. I do excuse the things I hate for him that I dearly love.
We are all frail. Nay, women are frail too. Let me be bold. Be that you are, that is, a woman. If you be one, show it now.
I have no tongue but one. Gentle, my lord, let me entreat you, speak the former language.
Plainly conceive, I love you.
My brother did love Juliet, and you tell me he shall die for it.
He shall not, Isabel, if you give me love.
I know your virtue hath a license in it, which seems a little fouler than it is to pluck on others.
Believe me, my words express my purpose.
Little honour to be much believe, and most pernicious purpose. I will proclaim thee, Angelo. Look for it. Sign a present pardon for my brother, or I will tell the world aloud what man thou art.
Who will believe thee, Isabel? My unsoiled name? The austerity of my life and place in this state will your accusation overweigh. I have begun now, and I give my central race the reins. Fit thy consent to my sharp appetite. Redeem thy brother by yielding up thy body to my will, or else thy unkindness shall draw his death out to lingering sufferance. Answer me tomorrow, or I'll prove a tyrant to him. As for you, say what you can. My false always your true.
To whom should I complain? Who would believe me? Perilous mouths bidding the law make curtsy to their will, hooking both right and wrong to the appetite to follow as it draws. I'll to my brother. He hath in him such a mind of honour that had he 20 heads to tender down on 20 bloody blocks, he would yield them up before his sister should her body stoop to such abhorred pollution. So, Isabel, live chaste, and brother die. More than our brother is our chastity. I'll tell him yet of Angelo's request, and fit his mind for death, for his soul's rest.
thank you.
Hands on the stage.
I'm sorry about that, Nick.
Okay, a bit more volume, lovely people, and let's go.
You hope of pardon from Lord Angelo?
The miserable have no other medicine but only hope. I hope to live, but I am prepared to die.
Be absolute for death, and either life or death will thereby be the sweeter.
I humbly thank you. To sue to live I find I seek to die, and in seeking death find life.
Good Provost. Take me to hear them speak where I may be hidden.
Sweet sister, what's the news?
Lord Angelo, having affairs to heaven, intends you for his swift ambassador. Tomorrow you set on.
Is there no remedy?
Yes, brother. There is a devilish mercy in the judge who will free your life, but fetter you till death.
Well, let me know the point.
Oh, I do fear thee, Claudio, and I quake, lest thou a feverous life should entertain, and 6 or 7 winters more respect than a perpetual honour. Darest thou die?
Why you give me this shame? If I am to die, I will encounter darkness as a bride and hug it in mine arms.
Oh, there spake my brother. There my father's grave did utter forth a voice. Yes, thou must die. This outward sainted deputy is yet a devil, his filth a pond as deep as hell.
The precise Angelo.
'Tis the cunning livery of hell. If I would yield him my virginity, thou might be freed.
Thou shalt not do it.
Oh, were it but my life, I would lay it down for your deliverance as frankly as a pin.
Hath he affections in him that would thus make him bite the law by the nose when he would force it? Surely it is no sin, or of the deadly 7 it is the least.
What says my brother?
Death is a fearful thing.
And shamed life a hateful.
Aye, but to die and we go not where. To lie in cold obstruction and to rot. The weariest and most loathed worldly creatures that have aged, ate penury and imprisonment. Can lay on nature is a paradise compared to what we fear of death.
Alas, alas.
Sweet sister, let me live. What sin you do to save a brother's life becomes a virtue.
Oh, faithless coward, wilt thou be made a man out of my vice? Is it not a kind of incest to take life from thine own sister's shame?
Nay, hear me, Isabel.
Vouchsafe a word.
I have no superfluous leisure. My stay must be stolen out of other affairs. But I will attend to you a while.
Son, I overheard you and your sister.
Let me ask my sister pardon. I am so out of love with life that I sue to be rid of it.
Stay you there, Provost. Farewell. The assault that Lord Angelo has made against you, fortune has conveyed to me. Will you content to this?
I had rather my brother die by the law than my son should be unlawfully born.
A remedy presents itself where you may do a wrong maid a benefit, redeem your brother, do no stain your own gracious person, and much please the absent Duke.
And let me hear you speak further. I have spirit to do anything that is not foul.
Virtue is bold, and goodness, never fearful. Have you heard of Mariana, the sister of Frederick?
I have heard of the lady, and good words came with her name.
She this Angelo should have married. But Frederick was wrecked at sea, and in that vessel the dowry of his sister. She lost her brother, her dowry, and with both, her husband.
Is this so? Did he so leave her?
Left her in tears, swallowing his vows whole, and pretending in her discoveries of dishonour. He, a marble to her tears, is awash with them, but relents not.
What a merit were it in death to take this poor maid from the world. How out of this can she avail?
Go you to Angelo, agree to his demands, but, refer yourself this advantage. Your stay may not be very long. The place be of all shadow and silence, and answer to convenience. This wrong maid have in her the continuance of her initial affection. We shall ask her to go in your place. By this is your brother saved, your honour untainted, and Mariana advantaged. What think you?
The image makes me content already. Oh, and I hope it shall grow to prosperous perfection.
Haste you to Angelo. I will to the moated grange where Mariana resides. At that place, call upon me.
Good father, adieu.
Your way, sir. Oh, bless you, good Father Friar.
And you? What offence has this man made?
Oh, marry, sir, he hath offended the law, and must before the deputy, who has given him warning. If he be a whoremonger, his neck will come to your waist.
Oh, I spy comfort. I cry bail. Here's a gentleman and a friend of mine.
How now, noble Pompey? What, at the wheels of Caesar?
Art thou led in triumph? Hey, how doth thy dear morsel, thy mistress? Procures she still?
Trust, sir, she is herself in the tub.
Why, 'tis good, it must be so. Ever your fresh whore and your powdered board. Art going to prison, Pompey?
Yes, faith, sir.
For debt, Pompey?
For being aboard.
Well then, imprison him. If imprisonment be the due of a board. A board he is, doubtless, and of antiquity too. Board born. Farewell, good Pompey.
I hope, sir, you will be my bail.
My, no, indeed will I not. I will pay, rather, to increase your bondage. If you take it not patiently, why, your metal is the more. Adieu, trusty Pompey. Bless you, friar.
And you.
Come your way, sir, come.
You will not bail me then, sir?
Come your way, sir.
Friar, what news abroad? Tell me, friar, what news of the Duke?
I know none. Can you tell me of any?
It was a mad, fantastical trick of him to steal from the state, and to usurp the beggary he was never born to. Lord Angelo dukes it well in his absence, and puts transgression to it. But a little more lenity to lechery would do no harm in him.
It is too general a vice, and severity would cure it.
Yes, in good sooth, the vice is of a great kindred, but it is impossible to extirpate, friar, till eating and drinking be put down. They say this Lord Angelo was not made by man and woman after this downright way of creation. Is it true, think you?
How should he be made, then?
Some report a sea maid spawned him. Others that he was begot between two stock fishes. But it is certain, friar, that when he makes water, his urine is congealed ice. That I know to be true.
Sir, you are pleasant, but you speak apace.
Why, what a ruthless thing is this in him, for the rebellion of a codpiece to take away the life of a man. Would the Duke, who is absent, have done this? He had some feeling of the sport. He knew the service, and that obstructed him to mercy.
I never heard he was inclined this way.
Oh, sir, you are deceived.
'Tis not possible.
Who, not the Duke? Yes, your beggar of 50, and his use was to put a ducat in her clack dish. The Duke had crotchets in him. Oh, he would be drunk then too, my lord. That let me inform you.
You do him wrong, surely.
Sir, I was an inward of his. A shy fellow was the Duke, and I believe I know the reason for his withdrawing, but 'tis a secret must be locked within the teeth and the lips. But this I can let you understand. The greater file of the subject held the Duke to be wise.
Wise? Why, no question.
A most ignorant, unweighing, superficial fellow.
Either this is the envy in you, folly, or mistaking.
Sir, I know him and I love him.
You do him wrong, surely. I pray you, your name.
Sir, my name is Lucio, well known to the Duke.
He will know you better, sir.
But no more of this. Canst thou tell if Claudio die tomorrow or no?
Why must he die?
Why? For filling a bottle with a tundish. I would the Duke we talk of were returned again. Lord Angelo will unpeople the province with continency. Sparrows must not build in his house eaves because they are lecherous. Claudio is condemned for untrussing. The Duke would eat mutton on Fridays. He's not past it yet. He would mouth with a beggar, though she smelt brown bread and garlic. Say that I said so. Farewell, good friar. Pray for me.
What king so strong can tie the slanderous tongue?
Away with her to prison.
God, my lord, be good to me. Your honour is accounted a merciful man.
Double and treble admonition, and still forfeiting the same kind. For this would make mercy swear and play the tyrant.
Board for 11 years continuance, if it please your honour.
My lord, this is one Lucio's information against me. Oh, Mistress Kate Keepdown was with child by him in the Duke's time. He promised her marriage. His child is now a year and a quarter old. I've kept it myself. And see how he goes about to abuse me.
Oh, that fellow is of much license. Let him be called before us, and away with her to prison.
No! No! Oh, no! It's Lucio! Oh, no!
Oh, well. Claudio must die tomorrow. Let him have all charitable preparation. If my brother wrought by my pity, it should not be so with him.
So please you, this friar hath been with him.
Good even, good father. Of whence are you?
Not of this country. I am on special business from His Holiness. I pray you, what is the disposition of the Duke?
Oh, one that above all other stripes contended especially to know himself.
And what pleasures was he given to?
What pleasures? What?
Rather rejoicing to see another merry than merry at anything which professed to make him rejoice. A gentleman of all temperance. But leaving him to his events, let me desire to know of you how you find Claudio prepared.
He is resolved to die.
You have paid the heavens your function. I have laboured for the poor gentleman, but my brother Justice have I found so severe that he hath forced me to tell him that he is indeed Justice.
If his own life answer the straightness of his proceedings, then it shall see him well. If he chance to fail, then he has condemned himself.
I am going to see the prisoner. Fare you well.
He who the sword of heaven would bear should be as holy as severe. Twice, treble, shame on Angelo to weed my vice and let his grow.
Mercy, sir, and wish you had not found me here so musical. My mirth it much displease, but please my woe.
'Tis good, Mariana. Music hath a charm to make bad good. I crave your forbearance to call upon you anon.
I am always bound to you.
Well met. What is the news of the good deputy?
He hath a garden circummured with brick, whose western side is with a vineyard backed. There did I make my promise upon the heavy middle of the night to call upon him.
Shall you find the way?
With whispering and most guilty diligence, he did show me the way, twice o'er. I have let him know 'tis only a repair in the dark, that my stay can be but brief, and I have a servant comes with me, whose persuasion is I come about my brother.
'Tis well. Mariana, I pray you be acquainted with this maid. She has come to do you good.
I do desire the like.
Mariana, you know that I respect you. This maid has a story for your ears. I shall await your leisure, but make haste, the night approaches.
Good friar, I do respect you. Will please you walk aside?
Take those lips away that so sweetly were forsworn, and those eyes in the grave of day, lights that do mislead the morn. But thy kisses lights that do mislead the morn, and my kisses bring again, seals of love, but sealed in vain, sealed in vain.
How agreed?
She will take the enterprise upon her father if you advise it.
It is not my consent, but my entreaty too.
All you have to remember when you depart is soft and low. Remember now, my brother.
Fear me not.
Nor, gentle daughter, fear you not at all. He is your husband on a pre-contract. To bring you together thus is no sin.
Come, sir. Can you cut off a man's head?
Oh, if the man be a bachelor, sir, I can. But if he be a married man, well, then he's his woman's head, he's his wife's head, and I can never cut off a woman's head.
Oh, come, sir, yield me a direct answer. Tomorrow morning are to die Claudio and Barnardine. The prison executioner lacks a helper. If you will take it on you to assist him, it will redeem you from your gyves. If not, you will have your full term of imprisonment and an unpitied whipping, because you've been a notorious bawd.
Sir, I have been an unlawful bawd, time out of mind, but I'll be content to be a lawful hangman.
What ho! Bo'sun!
Do you call, sir?
Sirrah, here's a fellow which will help you in your execution tomorrow. If you think it meet, use him. If not, dismiss him. He cannot plead his estimation with you. He's been a bawd.
A bawd, sir? Fie upon him.
Go to.
He will discredit our mystery.
Go to. A feather would turn, you weigh equally, a feather would turn the scale.
Pray, sir, you call your occupation a mystery?
Aye, sir. A mystery.
Painting, I've heard say, is a mystery. And your whores, sir, being members of my occupation and using painting, do make my occupation a mystery. But what mystery there be in hanging, if I should be hanged, I cannot imagine.
Are you agreed?
I will serve him, sir, for I find your hangman is a more penitent trade than your bawd. He doth oftener ask forgiveness.
Sirrah, provide your block and your axe tomorrow at 4.
Come on, bawd. I will instruct thee in my trade. Come. Follow. Follow.
Here's thy warrant for thy death, Claudio. It is now dead midnight. Tomorrow morning by 8 you shall be made immortal. Where's Barnardine?
He's fast locked up in sleep, he shall not wake.
Who can do good on him? Well, go prepare yourself. But hark, what noise? May heaven bring your spirit comfort. I do hope it is some pardon or reprieve for the most gentle Claudio.
The best spirits of the night envelop you, good provost. Who has called here of late?
None since the curfew rang.
Have you no counterman for Claudio yet?
None, sir, none. Happily you know of something, no. But I believe there comes no countermand.
My lord hath sent you this note. And by me, this further charge, ye swerve not from a single article of it, in either time, matter, or other circumstance. Good morrow, for I take it is almost day.
This is the very pardon, purchased by such sin that the pardoner himself is in. I pray you, let's hear it.
Whatsoever you hear to the contrary, let Claudio be executed by 4 of the clock, and in the afternoon Barnardine. For my better satisfaction, let me have Claudio's head sent me by 5. Fail not to do your office, as you will answer it at your peril. What say you to this, sir?
What is that Barnardine that must be executed in the afternoon?
Bohemian born, though here nursed up and bred. A prisoner now 9 years.
Is he guilty?
Oh, most manifest. And not denied by himself.
There is written in your brow honesty and constancy. Claudio is no greater forfeit to the law than Angelo, who has sentenced him. I crave of you 4 days' respite, and to do me a dangerous courtesy.
Pray, sir, in what?
In delaying death.
Alack! How may I do it? What, with an express command, unlimited time, under penalty, to deliver the head to Lord Angelo?
Execute this Barnardine this morning and have his head borne to Angelo.
Oh, Angelo has seen them both. He will discover the favour.
Death is a great disguiser.
Pardon me, good father, it is against my oath.
What if the Duke avouched the straightness of your dealings?
Well, what's the likelihood of that?
Look you, sir, the hand and the seal of the Duke.
I know them both.
Call your executioner and off with Barnardine's head. I will give him shrift, it is nearly dawn.
I be as well acquainted here as I was in our house of profession. One might think it Mistress Overdone's own house, for here be many of her old customers. 40 or more, I should think. All good doers in our trade, and now for the Lord's sake.
Bring Barnardine hither.
Master Barnardine, you must awake and be hanged, Master Barnardine.
What her, Barnardine?
Pox on Who makes that noise there? What are you?
Your friend, sir, the hangman. You must be so good, Master Barnardine, as to rise and be put to death.
Away, you rogue, away. I am sleepy.
Tell him he must awake, and that quickly, too.
Oh, pray, Master Barnardine, awake and be executed, and sleep afterwards.
Go into him and fetch him out.
He's coming. He is coming. I hear his straw rustle.
Is the axe upon the block, sirrah?
Oh, very ready, sir.
How now, Borson? What's the news with you?
Truly, sir, I would desire you to clap into your prayers. For look you, the warrant's come.
You rogue, I've been drinking all night. I am not fitted for it.
All the better, sir, for he who drinks all night and is hanged in the morning may sleep the sounder all the next day.
Oh.
Look you, sir. Look you, sir, here comes your ghostly father. Do we just now, think you?
Friar, I have been drinking hard all night and I need more time to prepare me. I consent, I will swear I will not consent to die today, that's certain.
But, sir, you must.
I swear I will not die today for any man's persuasion. I won't have it, I say.
Well, sir, how do you find the prisoner?
A creature most unprepared for death, and to transport him in his mind were damnable.
Here in the prison, Father, there died this morning of a cruel fever one Ragazine, my most notorious pirate, a man of Claudio's years, his beard and head of the same colour. What if we were to satisfy the deputy with the visage of Ragazine?
Heaven provides. Dispatch the head to Angelo. Now I will write to Angelo that I am near at home, and that I desire him to meet me at the city gates.
The head is on the block. Here's the head. I'll carry it myself.
Make a swift return, for I would commune with you of such things that want no other ear but yours.
I'll make all speed.
Who's Hosey here?
Isabel. She comes to know if yet her brother's pardon's come. I shall keep her ignorant of her good, and make heavenly comforts of despair when it is least expected.
Hath the deputy sent news of my brother's pardon?
He has dispatched him, Isabel, from the world. His head is off and sent to Angelo.
I will to him and pluck out his eyes!
You shall not be admitted to his sight.
Unhappy Claudio,
wretched Isabel. Injurious world. Most damned Angelo.
This nor profits you, nor hurts him. Forbear it, and give your cause to heaven. The Duke returns tomorrow, and Angelo and Aeschylus prepare to meet him at the city gate, there to give up their powers. You shall have your revenges on this wretch. The grace of the Duke and general honour.
I am directed by you.
This letter, then, to Friar Thomas. 'Tis he that sent me of the Duke's return. Tell him I desire his presence at Mariana's house tonight. He will bring you before the Duke, and to the head of Angelo accuse him, home and home. Who's there?
Good morning, Friar. Where's the provost?
Not within, sir.
Oh, pretty Isabella, I am pale at mine heart to see thine eyes so red. Thou must be patient. They say the Duke will be here tomorrow. By my troth, Isabel, I love thy brother. If the old fantastical Duke of Dark Corners had been at home, he had lived.
Sir, the Duke lives not in your reports.
Friar, thou knowest not the Duke so well as I do. He's a better woodman than thou takest him for.
You shall pay for this one day. Rest you well.
Nay, tarry, I'll go along with thee. I can tell thee pretty tales of the Duke.
You have told me too many of them already, sir.
I was once before him for getting a wench with child.
Did you such a thing?
Yes, but I was fain to forswear it. They would else have married me to the rotten meddler.
Sir, your company is fairer than honest. Rest you well.
But by my troth, I'll go with thee to the lane's end. If bawdy talk offend thee, we'll have very little of it. Nay, Friar, I'm a kind of burr. I shall stick.
Every letter he hath writ hath disvouched other.
In most uneven and distracted manner, his actions show much like to madness. Pray heaven his wisdom be not tainted. And why meet him at the gates and redeliver our authorities there?
I know not.
And why should we proclaim it that any who crave redress of injustice should exhibit their petitions in the street?
He shows his reason for that, to have a dispatch of complaints, to deliver us from devices hereafter, which shall then have no power to stand against us.
Well, I beseech you, let it be proclaimed. Give notice to such men of sort and suit as are to meet him.
I shall, sir. Fare you well.
This deed unshapes me, makes me dull to all proceedings. A deflowered maid, and by an eminent body that hath enforced the law against it. But that her tender shame will not proclaim against her maiden loss. How might she tongue me? He should have lived. Save that youth in dangerous sense might, in the times, have come to taken revenge. Would yet he had lived. Alas, when once our grace we have forgot, nothing goes right.
To speak so indirectly, I am loath. I would say the truth, but to accuse him so, that is your part. He says to veil full purpose.
Or be ruled by him.
Besides, he says
whereas if perhaps he speaks against us on the adverse side, to not think it strange, for 'tis a physic that's bitter to sweet end.
I would. Friar Thomas.
Friar Thomas.
Oh.
Come. Come. I have found you out a stand most fit, where you shall have such vantage on the Duke he shall not pass you. Twice have the trumpets sounded. The generous and graver citizens have hent the gates, and very near upon the Duke is entering. Therefore, hence, away.
My worthy cousin, fairly met. Our old and faithful friend, we are glad to see you.
Happy return be to your royal grace.
Hearty thankings to you both. We hear such goodness of your justice that our soul cannot but yield you forth to public thanks.
You make my bonds still greater.
Or your deserts speak loud. Give me your hand. Come, Aeschylus. Walk beside us on our other hand. What good supporters are you?
Now is your time. Speak loud and kneel before him.
O royal Duke, regard a wronged maid.
This is Lord Angelo shall give you justice. Relate your wrongs to him.
You bid me seek redemption of the devil. Hear me yourself.
My lord, her wits are not firm. She hath been a suitor to me, that her brother cut off by course of justice.
By course of justice?
And she will speak most bitterly and strange.
Most strange, but most truly will I speak. That Angelo's a murderer, is it not strange? That Angelo's a hypocrite, an adulterous thief, a virgin violator, is it not strange and strange?
Take her away, poor soul. She says this in the infirmity of sense.
Oh, Prince, I am not touched with madness. Angelo is an arch villain. If he be less, he'd be nothing, but he's more. Had I more names for badness?
If she be mad, then her madness has the oddest frame of sense. What should you say?
I am the sister to one Claudio, condemned by Angelo to lose his head. I was sent to my brother by one Lucio.
That's I, your grace. I came to her from Claudio and desired her try her fortune for her brother's pardon.
That's he, indeed.
You were not bid to speak.
No, my good lord, nor wish to hold my peace.
This gentleman tells somewhat of my tale.
Right.
It may be right, but you're in the wrong to speak before your time. Proceed.
In brief, to set the needless process by, how I persuaded, how I prayed and kneeled, I now begin with grief and shame to utter. He would not, but by gift of my chaste body to his intemperate lust, release my brother. After much debatement, I did yield to him. And the next morn betimes, his purpose defeating, he sends a warrant for my brother's head.
By heavens, thou knowest not what thou say. His integrity stands without blemish. Confess the truth. Who advised you to come here and complain?
And is this
time unfold the evil which is here wrapped up. Heaven shield your grace from woe, as I thus wrong hence unbelieved go.
I know you'd fain be gone. An officer! To prison with her. Should we thus permit a blasting and scandalous breath to fall upon one so near us? Who knew of your intent in coming hither?
One that I were here, Friar Lodowick.
Who knows that Lodowick?
My lord, I know him. 'Tis a meddling friar, sir. I do not like the man, my lord, for certain words he spake against your grace.
Words against me? And to set this wretched woman against our substitute. Let this friar be sent for.
But yesternight, my lord, she and that friar, I saw them at the prison. A saucy friar, sir. A very scurvy fellow.
Blessed be your grace. I know him for a man divine and holy. Not a meddler as reported by this gentleman. And a man that never yet did misreport your grace.
My lord, most villainously. Believe it.
Well, he in time may come to clear himself. At this instant he is sick, my lord, sick of a strange fever. At his request come I hither to speak as from his mouth what he doth know. Now, first, for this woman, and her shall you hear disprove to her eyes, till she herself confess it.
Good friar, let's hear it. Come, cousin Angelo, be you judge of your own cause. Is this the witness? Let her show her face.
Pardon, my lord. I will not show my face until my husband bid me.
What? Are you married?
No, my lord.
Are you a maid?
No, my lord.
A widow, then?
Neither, my lord.
My lord, she may be a punk, but many of them are neither maid, widow, or wife.
Silence that fellow! Would that he had cause to prattle for himself.
Well, my lord.
My lord, I do confess I ne'er was married, and confess besides I am no maid. I have known my husband, yet my husband knows not that he ever knew me.
Oh, he was drunk then, my lord, it can be no better.
For the benefit of silence, would thou were too.
Enough, my lord.
This is no witness for Lord Angelo.
I come to it, my lord, that she accuses him of fornication, in the same self-manner doth accuse my husband, and charges him, my lord, at such a time where I'll dispose I had him in mine arms, with all the effect of love.
Charges she more than me?
Not that I know.
No, you say husband?
Why, just, and that is Angelo, who thinks he knows that he ne'er knew my body, but knows he thinks he knows Isabel's.
This is strange abuse. Let us see thy face.
My husband bid me. Now I will unmask. This is that face, Angelo, which once thou sworest was worth the looking on. And this is the hand, which, with a vowed contract, was fast belocked in thine. This is the body that took away the match from Isabel and did supply thee at thy garden house.
Know you this woman?
Carnally, she says.
Sir, no more.
Enough, my lord, enough.
My lord, I do confess I did know this woman, and there was some speech of marriage which was broke off. Partly that her promised proportions came short, but in chief that her reputation was disvalued. Since which time I never spake with her, nor saw her.
Noble prince, as there is sense in truth and truth in virtue, Tuesday night last gone in his garden house he knew me as a wife, As this is true, let me in safety raise me from my knees, or else forever be confixed here, a marble monument.
My lord, these women are but instruments of another that has set them on. Give me the scope of justice to find this whole practice out.
By my heart. Lord Aeschylus, lend him your kind pains to find out this abuse. I, for a while, will leave you.
My lord?
I would, my lord, that he were here, for he hath set the women on to their complaint. Your provost knows where he abides, and he may fetch him.
Go to it instantly. Hear this matter, and do with your injuries as seems best. I, for a while, will leave you.
My lord. Signor Lucio. Signor Lucio.
Sir.
Did not you say you knew this Friar Lodowick to be a dishonest fellow?
Calculus non facit monachum, honest in nothing but his clothes, and one that hath spoke most villainous speeches of the Duke.
Abide here till he come, and enforce them against him. We shall find this friar a notable fellow.
As any in Vienna, on my word.
Call that same Isabel here once again. I would speak with her. Pray, my lord. Give me leave to question. You shall see how I'll handle her.
Not better than he, by her own report.
Say you?
Marry, sir, I think if you handled her privately, she would sooner confess. Perchance, publicly, she'll be ashamed.
I will go darkly to work with her.
That's the way, for women are light at midnight.
Mistress, this gentlewoman denies all that you have said.
My lord, here comes the rascal, here with the provost.
In very good time. Speak you not to him till we call upon you.
Mum.
Come, sir. Did you set these women on to slander Lord Angelo? They have confessed you did.
'Tis false.
I'll know you where you are.
With respect to your great place. Where is the Duke? 'Tis he that should hear me speak.
The Duke's in us, and we will hear you speak. Look you speak justly.
Boldly at least. Ah, poor souls, come you to seek the lamb of the fox? Is the Duke gone? Then is your cause gone too. The Duke's unjust to put your trial in the mouth of the villain.
My lord, this is the rascal. This is he I spoke of.
Why, thou unreverend friar, is it not enough thou hast suborned these women to slander this noble man, but then to tax the Duke himself with injustice? Oh, to the rack with him. We will know his purpose. What unjust!
Be not so hot. The Duke dare no more stretch this finger than he dare rack his own. My business in this state has made me a looker-on here in Vienna, and I have seen corruption boil and bubble till it o'errun the stew.
Slander to the state. Away with him to prison.
Come hither, good man Baldpate. Do you know me?
I remember you, sir. I met you at the prison.
And do you remember what you said of the Duke?
Most notably, sir.
And was the Duke a fool, a fleshmonger, and a coward, as you reported him to be?
You, sir, spoke so, and much worse. I protest. I love the Duke as I love myself.
Such a fellow is not to be talked withal. Away with him to prison. Provost, away with him to prison. Let him speak no more. Away too, and with the other Confederate companions.
Stay, sir. Stay a while.
What, resist he? Help him, Lucio. Come, sir.
Sir, come! Boy! Oh, you bald-pated lying rascal! You must be hooded, must you? Show your knave's visage with a pox to you. Show your sheep-biting face and be hanged an hour, sir. Will it not? Off!
You are the first knave that e'er made us the Duke. But first, Provost, let us bail these three. Sir, sneak not away, for the friar and you will have a word anon.
This may prove worse than hanging.
For what you have spoken, I pardon. Rest you there. And we'll borrow a place of him yet. Have thee word or wit that can yet do the office? Prompt.
When I perceive your grace hath looked upon my passes, then, good prince, let my trial be my own confession. Sequent death, immediate sentence and sequent death is all the grace I beg.
Come hither, Mariana. Was thou e'er contracted to this woman?
I was, my lord.
Then take her hence and marry her instantly. Friar, do you the office and return him here. Go with him, Provost.
My lord, well, I am more amazed, well, at his dishonour than at the manner of it.
Come hither, Isabel. Your friar is now your prince, and not changing heart with habit. I am still a turnip at your service.
Forgive me that I have employed and pained your unknown sovereignty.
You are pardoned, Isabel. And now, dear maid, be you as free to us. I know your brother's death sits at your heart, and that you marvel why I would obscure myself rather than make rash remonstrance of my hidden power, and let him so be lost. Dear gentle maid, that life is better life, past fearing death, than that which lives to fear. Make that your comfort.
I do, my lord.
This newly married man approaching here, you must pardon for Mariana's sake. But as he adjudged Claudio, the very mercy of the law cries out, and Angelo for Claudio, death for death. Haste still pays haste, and leisure answers leisure. Like doth quit like, and measure still for measure. Angelo, we do condemn thee to the very block where Claudio stooped to die, and with like haste, away with him.
Oh, my most gracious lord, I hope you will not mock me with a husband.
It is your husband mocked you with a husband. I thought your marriage fit else imputation, and that he, knowing you, would reproach your life. His possessions, though by confiscation ours, we do in state, and widow you withal, to buy you a better husband.
I crave no other, nor no better man.
Never crave him. We are definitive.
A gentle my liege.
You lose your labours. Away with him to death. And now to you, sir.
Oh, my good lord, sweet Isabel, take my part, lend me your knee, and all my life to come, I'll lend you all my life to do you service.
Against all sense, you do importune her brother's ghost, his paved bed would break.
Isabel, sweet Isabel, do yet but kneel by me. Hold up your hand, say nothing. I'll speak all. They say best men are moulded out of our faults, and for the most become more the better for being a little bad. So may my husband. Oh, Isabel, will you not lend an ear?
He dies for Claudio's death.
Most bounteous sir, do not look on this man condemned as if my brother lived. A due sincerity governed his deeds until he did look on me. His act did not overtake his bad intent, and must be buried, but as an intent that perished by the way. Thoughts are no subjects, intents, but merely thoughts.
Merely, my lord.
Your suit's unprofitable. Stand up. Good provost. How come Claudio was beheaded at such an unusual hour?
It was commanded so.
And did you have special warrant for this deed?
None, sir, none. It was by private message. I thought it was at fault, and did repent me after more advice. For testimony thereof, one Bernardine that should have died, that should by private order else have died, I reserved alive.
I wished I had done so for Claudio. Bring him hither.
I am sorry. One so learned and so wise as you, Lord Angelo, should slip so grossly, both in the heat of blood and the lack of tempered judgment afterward.
I am sorry that such sorrow I procure. And so deep sticks in my penitent heart that I crave death more willing than mercy. 'Tis my deserving, and I do entreat it.
Can't get the help. What is that, Barnardine?
Here, my lord.
You, sir, are said to have a stubborn soul, thou art condemned, but thy earthly faults, I do quit them. Who is that muffled fellow?
This is another prisoner that I saved that should have died when Claudio lost his head. As almost like Claudio as to himself.
If he be like your brother, then for his sake he is pardoned. And for your lovely sake, give me your hand and say you'll be mine. Then he is my brother too. Well, Angelo, look that you love her, her worth yours. Now, here's one I cannot pardon. You, sir, took me to be a fool, a coward, and a madman. Have I so deserved of you?
Faith, my lord. I spoke it, but according to the trick. If you will hang me for it, you may. But I had rather it would please your worship. I might be whipped.
Okay, sir. Whipped first, sir, and then hanged. Proclaim it, Provost. I heard him swear there was one whom he begot with child. Let her appear, and he shall marry her. The nuptials finished, then whipped and hanged.
I beseech your highness, do not marry me to a whore.
You wilt marry her. Thy other slanders I do forgive, and therewithal remit thy other forfeits. Take him away to prison.
Marrying a punk, my lord, is pressing to death, whipping and hanging.
Slandering a prince deserves it. She, Claudio, that you wronged, see you restore. Joy to you, Mariana. Love her, Angelo. Thank you, good friend Aeschylus, for thy much goodness. Good provost. Thank you for your care and secrecy. We shall find better employment for you. Isabel. Dear Isabel. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. So take us to our palace, and we'll show what's yet behind. That's meat, you should all know.
Straight line, straight line, straight line. Off to left and right. No, not back. Left and right. Straight line over there again. Straight line.